Hari Om. We will take up Apitakuchamba Stotram and try to understand the meaning and correct Ucharanam for the Stotram. As always, this audio is an introduction to the Stotram. Let us learn about the great author of this Stotram, Sri Appayya Deekshitar, a great Shiva Bhaktar. He was born to Rangaraja Deekshitar. So Rangaraja Deekshitar is Appayya Deekshitar's father. Rangaraja Deekshitar did not have any child after marriage, so he went to Chidambaram, did his seva bhajanam to Nataraja Swami, and with Nataraja's anugraham, Rangaraja Deekshitar was blessed with a son. Rangaraja gave the namakaranam to his son as Vinayaka Subramanyar. And since they always called their child fondly as Appa, Ayya, Romba Chellama Korandeya, Appa, Ayya, Apdinu Kuptadhanala, he came to be called as Appayya Deekshitar. So he has composed 104 granthas, of which most important is Shivarkamani Deepika. The Avatara Rahasyam of Appayya Deekshitar was to establish Shaiva Matam. Shrikantha Shivacharya wrote Shrikantha Mata Tattvam. For this Shrikantha Mata Tattvam, Appayya Deekshitar has written his Vyakhyanam called Shivarkamani Deepika. Deekshitar was very accepting of all the matams and has written books on each of the matam. But he has written specially on Shaiva Matam. The reason for this being that his avataram was to establish Shaiva Matam because there was a downfall of this matam during that time. And so, with the help of the kings during that time, he wrote this Shivarkamani Deepika on Shiva as Saguna Brahmam. On seeing this grantha, the king of Vellur, Chinnabomma Maharaja, did a Kanakabhishegam to Appayya Deekshitar, and Appayya Deekshitar with that Kanakam means Swarnam, gold. With that he built a temple in his birthplace, Adayapalam, for Parvatyamba Sameta Kalakanteshwara Swami and Mahadevi Sameta Varadaraja Swami. He did the Nirmanam of both Vishnu Alayam and Shivalayam. He stayed there with his Shishyas and he taught over 500 Vidwans. And this information is found on the inscriptions. It is seen engraved in the temple. Koil Kalvettu solrome, adula idu paaka mudiyarudhu in the information. Madhusudana Saraswati appadina, there was a great Vidwan and Sannyasi who lived in Bangladesh. He has written many Advaita Granthas. Before we see what Madhusudana Saraswati Swami has said about Appayya Deekshitar, we have to know the Advaita Shastra Varisai, like the order of the series, we say, right, book series. We have to know the Advaita Shastra book series. Vyasa Bhagavan wrote Brahma Sutra. On Vyasa Bhagavan's Brahma Sutra, Adi Shankara wrote the Vyakhyanam, Shankara Bhashyam he wrote. On Adi Shankara's Shankara Bhashyam, Vachaspati Mishra wrote Bhamati. On Vachaspati Mishra's Bhamati, Amarananda Tirtha wrote Kalpataru. On Amarananda Tirtha's Kalpataru, Appayya Deekshitar wrote Parimalam. This is the Advaita Shastra book series of how each of them wrote a commentary on their predecessors. Madhusudana Saraswati Swami of Bangladesh has written many Advaita Granthas, like I said before. Now this Madhusudana Saraswati Swami wrote a small book called Advaita Siddhanta Bindu. Bindu means a small drop, or sottu. Adavadu, all that Advaita Saram that is told in many Granthas, he has written it, compiled and written it as a Saram, right? One small Bindu he is giving. In that he has mentioned Vyasa Bhagavataha Sutrada Arabhya Deekshitendranam Parimalantam Advaita Vedanta Shastram Parisamaptam. we just saw the book order series, right? Vyasa Bhagavatah Sutrad Arabhya. Vyasa Bhagavan wrote the Brahma Sutra. Then Shankaracharya wrote Vyakhyanam on that, Shankara Bhashyam. So, starting from Vyasa Bhagavan's Brahma Sutram to Appayya Deekshitar's Parimalam, he has written a saram of all the Advaitam in that very small book. So, what this shows is the Mahatmyam of Deekshitar. He has been praised and mentioned in the book of Madhusudana Saraswati Swami, who is a great Vidwan. And generally, the scholars of respective matams will write books on their own matam to nurture their own matam. அதாவது அவாளோட மதம் வளர்கிறதுக்காக அந்தந்த வித்வான் அவளோட மதத்தை பற்றி தான் எழுதுவா புக்ஸ் எல்லாம், in order to establish their particular matam's philosophy. But Appayya Deekshitar has written books on each of the matam. Like for Visishta Advaitam, he has written Nayamayukha Malika. For Madhva Matam, he has written Nyaya Muktavali. For Shiva Advaitam, he has written Advaita Adhikarana Manjari. அப்புறம் ஒரு புக் எழுதியிருக்கார் on Chaturmata Samarasyam. அதாவது although he has written 4 different matas, Dvaita, Advaita, Madhva Matam, Visishta Advaita, he has written 4 books on that matam's philosophy. And he has written another book on Chaturmata Samarasyam. He has also written a book on how the 4 matams have to have Samarasyam, means unity. அப்படின்னு எழுதியிருக்கார். So, such a great Vidwan, Appayya Deekshitar, and has written 104 granthas. One time he had a doubt, self-doubt on himself. இவ்வளோ யாக யக்ஞம் கிரந்தம் இவ்வளோலாம் எழுதியிருக்கோமே, நம்ம உண்மையாக தான் எழுதியிருக்கோமா அப்படின்னு அவருக்கு ஒரு சந்தேகம் வந்தது. So he doubted, I have done so many karma, anushtanam, yaga, yajna, everything. Whether I have done it with true bhakti or not, he had a sandeha. In order to test this sandeha, pariksha this sandeha, to test himself, he thought, true swarupam means we see it only in a child or we see it in a mad person, crazy person. ஒன்று உண்மையான நிலைமை யாரில் பார்க்குறோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா குழந்தையில பார்க்குறோம், இல்லாட்டா ஒரு பைத்தியம். ஸோ த ட்ரூ நேச்சர் இஸ் சீன் ஈதர் ஆஸ் அ சைல்ட் ஆர் ஆஸ் அ உன்மத்த, பாலோ உன்மத்தா. ஸோ தீக்ஷிதர் திங்ஸ் வயாம்சி மம சப்ததேர் உபரி, மை ஏஜ் ஹேஸ் கிராஸ்ட் 70+. So it is not possible for me to reverse and become a child to know the true nature. So the alternative option is only to become a mad person, unmatta. So in order to test his bhakti, in order to test his Shiva bhakti, he called his shishyas and told them, now I am going to drink the rasam of this Umattampu அப்படின்னு தமிழில் சொல்லுவோம். When I googled it to find what it is called in English, it says the common name is thorn apple or Jimson weed or devil's snare. So what Appayya Deekshitar told his sishyas was, I am going to drink the rasam of this Umattampu. I will become crazy. I will become unmatta. Whatever I blabber at that time, record it and keep. Write it down, record it and keep. Then in order to reverse my unmatta, that is to counteract the portion, that Umattampu rasam, that portion that he drank, give me the antidote to counteract the Umattampu rasam effect. Saying this, he prepared his sishyas and drank the rasam of the Umattampu. And he became unmatta. பைத்தியம் பிடிச்சுடுத்து அவருக்கு. And he started to blabber, and those were the 50 shlokas. They were called Unmatta Panchashat, or also called as Atmarpana Stuti, because he does the arpanam of his own Atma to Shiva. And this is how he does the pariksha of his own bhakti. Now, Mahapariva of Kanchi Kamakoti Mat, one time he asked, okay, he wanted to do, Appayya Deekshitar wanted to pariksha himself, test himself of his bhakti, so he drank the rasam of Umattampu. But why did he instruct his Sishyas to give an antidote? So, for that, Mahapariva himself answered, if after drinking the rasam of Umattambu, he becomes Swami Paityam, if he is Unmatta on Swami Vishaya, that is a good Paityam. We don't need antidote for it. We can spend our life like that itself. But if the Paityam is Laukika Paityam, material-oriented Paityam, material-oriented Unmatta, then the Janma will become waste. The Janma of taking this Shariram will become a waste. So he had instructed his Sishyas to give the antidote. So if there are any mistakes, we can correct ourselves by using this Janma and not be in that Laukika Unmatta Dasha. This was the explanation given by our Mahapariva. Such is the Mahatmyam of Appayya Deekshitar, who was an avataram of Shiva himself. In Shiva Rahasya, Shiva himself tells Parvati that he will take an avatara of Adi Shankaracharya, then Haradatta Acharya, then Appayya Deekshita avataram. In that Shiva Rahasyam, Bhavishyat Alpamatayaha Yatihi Tatra Bhavishyati Shive Matamcha Shambhutaha Shankaraha Shankarottamaha Chaturbihi Shishyaistu Kalau Avatarishyati. This is Adi Shankara avataram. Then Haradatta Acharya's avataram is mentioned. Then Deekshitopi Bhavet Kaschit Madamsho Bhusaro Ambike. So Shiva himself tells to Parvati that he will be born as Deekshitar also. This is Appayya Deekshitar. This is found in Shiva Rahasya. Just as how Ramayana has 24,000 shlokas and Mahabharata has 1 lakh shlokas, Shiva Rahasya has 2 laksham. So such is the Mahatmyam of Appayya Deekshitar, who is the avataram of Shiva himself. Why we should know all these histories? Because this is the wealth of Bharata Desham. Such great Mahans have walked this Bhumi and given us so many things. These are the values we should learn. So, and in making this audio, I was researching and I found Brahmashri Ramakrishna Deekshitar. We fondly, Romba Chellama, our Adebalam Mama, and Gatla, our Kupudumo. அவரோட வீடியோ கிடச்சிது யூடியூப்பில் ஒரு வெப்சைட் மூலமாக. ஐ வாஸ் வெரி ஹாப்பி அண்ட் பிளஸ்ட் டு see his video. He is no more, but he himself is a great scholar, சம்ஸ்கிருத வித்வான் அவர். அப்பேற்பட்ட அவரோட வீடியோ பார்த்து நான் இதை கற்றுண்டு நோட்ஸ் எடுத்துண்டு ஐ எம் ஷேரிங் திஸ் ஆல் வித் யூ. ஐ ஃபீல் வெரி பிளஸ்ட் பிகாஸ் எனக்கு மாமாவை ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். இஸ் மை ஃபேவரட் அண்ட் அவருக்கும் நான் தான் ஃபேவரட். So I feel very blessed that during my research, I came across his video and I learnt this piece of information straight from him. And Mama ku namaskaram pannikiren. And we should learn about all these vidwans and their work so that we don't waste our janma also. Make use of our janma to know all these valuable information and gain knowledge through this. Right. We will see from the next audio, Apitakuchamba Stotram-अप written by Appayya Deekshitar. Ram 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 Ram.